I'm here with Stan Schultz, the owner of Schultz and Summers Engineering, and we're looking at some of the damage from the flood at the Wappapello levee. You want to explain a little bit of what went on and maybe what caused all this damage that we see?
We had a tremendous amount of rain that came in the St. Francis River Valley, and you can see all the way across the lake over there, that top sign that's on that wall. That's where the record flood was in 1945, and that was right when the dam was completed. They were still learning how to operate it, and probably had an overflow event. They've learned a lot since then how to operate the dam. However, this time we had so much rain that it just inundated the valley and they couldn't handle the flow. You can see right below us here this temporary berm that was built. And what this, to the left is the concrete barrier, the overflow protection. It's been there ever since the dam's been built, and it's a safety valve so that the gatehouse is not compromised at high water. So the Corps came in and they tried to build a temporary berm that's 3 feet higher than what the emergency spillway was. And unfortunately that breached, I think, on May the 2nd and caused about 30,000 CFS water to flow over the dam. And one of the things you can see that the engineers thought of way back in the 30s is you got this concrete trough below here. That's normally underwater. You can see the ground line here along this concrete barrier. That's normally where the ground was. When the water started rushing over that, it washed out down to that scour protection, and that scour protection saved that from being washed out. Another thing that saved the area is you see all these rocks that are outcropping. So we're lucky that there's so much rock in the ground, and the T highway's washed out some, but
that's T highway right there?
Highway. It can be fixed.
Now what are those lines that are stretched? Is that power lines?
Fiber optic and power lines. They had to reroute the fiber optics through Puxato, I believe. And it just shows you that water is a very powerful thing.
Now, is this the lake level here? Well,
what this normally is a parking lot for boats, and you can see the pavilions out here, and the boat races and all are held out in the lake when it's much, much lower than this. So it's still very, very high. It's too high to enjoy. It's what we usually see.
So in your opinion, how close was this levee, or this to actually busting up and causing serious?
Oh, I don't think it was close at all. I think the engineers did a fantastic job. If you think about the technology that they had back in the 30s and what they did with it, it's just pretty amazing that they were smart enough to even conceive this idea of scour protection, even though we never see it. So you have to give the Corps of Engineers credit for designing a very good structure.